Woman's son's medical treatment when insurance refused, using her small savings, never asking for recognition. Gratitude had been buried under layers of pride, and that pride finally cracked. Word spread. The community suddenly saw the maid not as a shadow, but as a pillar. The teen's parents confronted their children. The ringleader stood before Layla and, voice breaking, offered a genuine apology, one that didn't center himself but acknowledged the harm of ridicule, of reducing someone to their body or their job. Layla didn't respond with bitterness, though she had every right. Instead, she said something that rippled through the room. "I don't need you to like me. I just need you to remember that respect should never be a joke." In the weeks that followed, Layla used the sudden attention not for popularity, but to organize inclusive dance nights where every body type, every background, every person felt welcome. She taught shy kids to move with pride, helped elders rediscover joy, brought together people who had never spoken before. The once aloof wealthy woman funded scholarships in Denise's name, finally understanding that generosity without humility is only performance. And Denise herself, who had weathered storms far larger than gossip, finally took days off, finally breathed. As for Layla, she didn't become famous in a Hollywood way. No viral headlines, no instant celebrity, but she became something far more powerful, a quiet legend in her town, a reminder that the people we underestimate often hold oceans inside them. And sometimes all it takes is one cruel joke, turned inside out by courage, to expose just how wrong we are about one another. Years later, when the band at the community center plays that same song, newcomers ask why some guests always pause, smile, and glance toward the center of the room, half expecting to see a confident, radiant young woman spinning with a joy that no mockery could touch. And those who were there simply say, because that was the night respect stopped being optional. And somewhere, Layla and Denise danced together in their kitchen, not to prove anything to anyone, but simply because they were always worthy of that joy. Stop scrolling for just a second, because what you're about to hear is one of those rare stories that reaches straight into your chest and squeezes, reminding you that kindness, dignity, and inner strength are far more powerful than cruelty or ridicule. If you believe that everyone deserves respect, no matter their body, their job, or the color of their skin, then stay with me to the end of this story. And if it moves you even a little, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another story that restores your faith in people. Now here is the full story in one long paragraph, just as you asked. Wait, English? Restarted below in English only, single paragraph. There was a time, not too long ago, in a quiet American town where the lights of the community center glowed on Friday nights like a lighthouse for anyone looking for a brief escape from their everyday worries. That a girl named Layla lived with her mother, Denise, a woman who worked tirelessly as a live-in housekeeper for a wealthy family whose pristine columns and manicured hedges could never hide the coldness inside. Layla, soft-spoken, book-loving, and yes, plus-sized in a world that never lets people forget such a thing, carried her weight like a storm cloud others refused to see past, and she carried another label too. Her mother was black and worked as the help, which made small minds think they had permission to treat Layla as less than human, though she herself never stopped believing that someday, somehow, the world would catch up to the truth of who she was. At the community center's yearly charity gala, an event where the rich pretended generosity came naturally, Layla and her mother attended not as guests, but as workers. Denise had volunteered to help serve, while Layla carried trays, trying to stay invisible because experience had taught her that sometimes invisibility was safer than being seen. But life has a way of throwing people into the center of a stage they never asked for. And that night, the band shifted into a lively song, just as a group of popular college kids, children of the town's well-known families, decided they needed entertainment, and their eyes fell on Layla. "Ask her to dance," one whispered, and the others laughed, the sound cutting through the music like ice cracking on a winter lake. The request wasn't rooted in kindness or curiosity. It was a cruel dare, a private joke, the expectation being that she would blush, refuse, and give them something to snicker about for years. When the tall, confident ringleader approached Layla and bowed theatrically, she saw the joke behind his smile. She had seen that look 1,000 times, but something inside her shifted. She thought about the years her mother had worked double shifts, the nights they whispered dreams in a cramped back room, the stories of proud ancestors who refused to bow their heads. And she realized that sometimes the most radical act in the world is saying yes. So she stepped forward. Silence fell, heavy and electric. The band faltered, then recovered, now watching her too. Layla's heart hammered, but her grandmother's words echoed in her memory. Move like you belong wherever your feet stand. And with the first step, she let go of fear. She didn't move like someone used to hiding. She flowed. powerful, graceful, soulful, each turn an assertion of dignity, each movement saying, I exist, I deserve space, I deserve joy. Those who had expected a punchline now found themselves unable to look away, the mockery draining from their faces as admiration, reluctant at first, then overwhelming, replaced it. And then came the twist. An older woman in the back, elegantly dressed, began to clap slowly, and Layla's mother froze because she recognized her, the owner of the house she worked in, and everyone knew the woman rarely applauded anyone. Within minutes, the adults were whispering, the teens were stunned, and when the song ended, the applause crashed over Layla like a wave she had never known she needed. The ringleader, cheeks burning, realized painfully that the joke had revealed nothing embarrassing about Layla, only something small about him. But the night wasn't done. The elegant woman approached Denise afterward and in front of the entire room apologized, not for that night alone, but for years of distance, of assumptions, of not seeing the full humanity of the woman who kept her household running. Layla wanted to distrust it, but then the woman revealed a truth that changed everything. Years ago, Denise had quietly paid for the woman's son's medical treatment when insurance refused, using her small savings.